guys. So every single day I'm going to be posting 5 videos. I'm going to be posting a morning and night routine, and I'm going to be posting a video about you, how to heal, learning about energy, posting a Reiki video for self-healing, and also I want to be posting videos to help parents. I'm a parent myself, and I have found that the more I've learned about Reiki and about energy and healing, the more I've been able to help my children. So today we are learning about children that are ungrounded. So most children become ungrounded almost daily. So becoming ungrounded may look like anxiety, may look like having a hard time sleeping, may look like meltdowns, screaming, yelling, hitting, like all of those things that we've typically labeled as bad behaviors. They are honestly just normal. They are just normal behaviors that all children experience. And even as adults, we experience this as well. We become ungrounded, we become overstimulated. And the video that I posted earlier today is actually about you and becoming disconnected from your energetic body. So that is kind of related to this. So let's talk about why children may become ungrounded and overstimulated. This world that we live in, especially now, we are very connected. There's a lot of people living in very close to each other. We have technology, we have lights, which are all amazing and useful things and can be great for kids. But having that much happening around you is often going to pull you up into your mind and down, and that's going to pull you up from being grounded. Your chakra for grounded is down here, and obviously your connection to the world is your crown chakra, and your visualization and needing to predict what's happening around you is your third eye chakra. So when this happens, let's talk at some examples. This could happen in grocery stores. We see it a lot, and we often think, oh, my kid like really wants this. But it's also because there's so many colors, there's so many options, there's so much happening. Often you're stressed because you have your kid with you, or maybe kids, and you're trying to get the things that you need and you're trying to think. And it's a very overwhelming experience for you and for the kids. But all those colors and all those things are kind of hard for kids to process. Long time ago, you might have some stores kind of set outside and you'd see fruits and vegetables. You wouldn't see 20 different kinds of cereal with bright colors in your face. So that's an example of a way kids could become overstimulated. Another way is when they're just outside on a walk. We think, oh, getting outside is so great. But sometimes, there's lots of people passing by. So that's a visual. People might be talking to each other. We might be hearing phone calls. We might be hearing animals, birds, any kind of natural noises, or cars driving by and horns honking. All of that adds to what we're experiencing, especially for kids when we're told, oh, be careful of this, don't do that, which we need to. We need to make sure they're not running into the street, but they're also trying to think, okay, I need to stay safe as well. So that also can be very overwhelming. It's very easy to get into a situation where you or a child might become overwhelmed. Whenever they become overwhelmed, have these really big emotions, it's because they're ungrounded. So let's talk about another thing that I also am guilty of, and that's technology. We see our kids sitting and watching TV and we're like, oh, they're relaxed, they're entertained, everything is good, I have a moment to myself where I can accomplish things, which is true. It's not something that we should completely cut out or should be ashamed of. And it's important that we teach our kids healthy habits and healthy relationships with technology. But it is also very colorful, very bright, very fast-paced, very loud, and that can definitely cause kids to be pulled out of that grounded safety that they need. So when people are grounded, you are feeling safe, you're feeling secure, you're feeling calm, you're feeling very like things are predictable. And we get those a lot from our parents, especially healthy parents. And I was saying, if you're not healthy, like I struggle with my mental health for sure, and sometimes I have anxiety and sometimes I'm not able to be the best parent. And, that's okay. It doesn't mean that we are bad for our kids in those moments. But we do need to recognize that it's important for us to try to be our healthiest or put forward our best selves for our kids as often as possible, just so they can feel that safety, that predictability with us. So giving your child a hug, helping them feel their body, you can ask them, what do you see right now? Tell me one color that you see. And then you can focus on that thing. Let's say they see a plant. Okay, what color is it? What does it feel like? You know, does it smell like anything? So talking about the 5 senses. Or you can just separate things. So if they say the ceiling, they see the ceiling. Okay, what color is it? It's white. Perfect. Okay, now what can you touch? Okay, let's touch the ground with our hand. What does it feel like? This type of thing. That's going to pull them back into their senses, pull them back into their body. This is a really great thing to do after TV, because it is an activity that you can, where they have kind of more energy after watching TV. You can say, okay, run and touch the wall. What does the wall feel like? Good. Okay, run close to the couch and look really close to the couch. What does it look like when you look super close? You know, so you can have them running around doing something like that. Okay, another thing that you can do to help your kids ground is by taking them outside and letting them be barefoot for a little bit. Being physically on the earth is so good for us. I don't have any things to really tell you, but I've read many studies that I don't remember any of the names of. But there is so much evidence that being on the earth, being outside, being in nature is so healthy for us and will help us feel more calm, more safe, more relaxed. For kids is if deep breathing, and all kids can do it. So with my kids, what really helped them, because when my kid was like 1 year old, she didn't really understand breathing. So I helped her bring her hands up and let her body get big and breathe out. And that really helped her. She's now almost 3 and she still does that same movement whenever I tell her to breathe. You can also have them place their hand on their heart and allow their chest to rise and fall, and tell them, do you feel that? Do you feel your chest getting bigger and smaller, or your hand on your stomach? You can even have them scream. If they have, sometimes when we're overstimulated or we're ungrounded, we have too much energy. There's too much. So we want to calm ourselves down, but sometimes we have to release that energy, right? So I let my kids scream sometimes. And they love when I do it with them. So we take a pillow in our hand, we breathe in, and we scream into the pillow as loud as we can. And they just love it. It usually ends up with them laughing. And if they were upset or something, it really helps them like just feel a lot more playful and a lot happier. Okay, the last thing that you can do is if you take a piece of paper, just a white piece of paper, and draw a little tree on top, okay, about this size. And then on the rest of the paper, long way, you're gonna draw these big, thick roots, okay? Maybe like 4 or 5. It does not need to be perfect. And then tell your kid to like color in the roots. Explain what roots are to them. You know, it helps the tree eat. You know, it gives them some water and nutrients, and it's how they talk to each other. Okay, so explain that roots are important, and it helps them stay strong and it helps them stay safe, okay? And then when the kid is feeling overwhelmed, or even before the situation so they can practice, have them stand on top of the tree and imagine they are the tree. So have them stand nice and strong. You can have them put their hands up. They can wave their hands in the air if they want to imagine wind going through them. They can make themselves round. Have them imagine exactly however they picture a tree, okay? And then tell them to look at the roots and imagine those roots are attached to them, up into their legs, and that it goes down into the earth. Tell them to imagine these roots going down into the earth, and that they're so strong, and that they're safe, and that they're stable, and you're not going to blow away. And tell them to stand strong, and you can even kind of nudge them a little bit, play with them, like tickle them, move them around a little bit, and see like, hey, like when you stand strong and you imagine those roots, you're safe and you're strong and you're good. And yeah, especially if they have the roots all colorful and fun, you can even have them draw their favorite foods around it depending on their age. Then yeah, they really it's easy for them to imagine those roots that they love going down into the earth. Okay, so your kids, they will become better and better at these activities, and there are so many more activities. Like I will be posting more activities for you to do with your kids, but you can also go on Pinterest, or if these don't work for your kids, leave a comment below about ones that do work, or if you've Googled any that are interesting to you. You can also let me know if they do work for your kids, because I love hearing that. And yeah, I try to do one of these activities once a week, or even every single day for a week so they can really learn that activity and they become used to it. But you know, we all forget things sometimes and it's hard for us to keep track of when we need to do this and that. So just whenever you think about it, try to keep one of these activities in your mind to be able to help your kid ground. Yeah, thank you so much for being with me today, and I will be here tomorrow again to post, and hopefully we'll be getting more and more videos out for you guys. Thank you so much. Bye.